Welcome back to the Affaka show. I am the coldest gambler alive. It is bad. If you're tuning in this show to be like, oh, maybe his picks went well, spoiler alert, they did not. They look as bad as a wacky package or garbage pail kids or whatever those weird cards that used to be that made a big comeback when I was younger, but then it was a thing when our dads were. It doesn't matter, people. I'm sad, I'm bad, but it doesn't matter because we only get one life to watch football. And my God, if I don't watch football in this life, then it's a life that I don't want to be near. Okay? Let's live it up. Let's have fun. Sure, the bounces don't go your way, but we gotta keep fighting. They didn't go my way all week. I'm not even going to talk about the Thanksgiving games. I'll get into it maybe a little bit later, people. But let's start off with the Bears 24, Eagles 15. Look at my hat. Look at my hat and tell me what's wrong with the picture. What's wrong is that Kevin Petula cannot call this offense. I think that we're maybe blaming him a little bit too much. There were some injuries on the offensive line. Mekhi Becton, Sirianni should be stepping in at this point. I mean, we see someone drowning and go, hey, I'll help you. But is he helping him? The answer is no. Now, sure, do have people toss around the idea that, like, all of the middle schoolers and elementary school kids in Philadelphia should line up and throw kickballs at him? I don't know. I didn't say that. I think someone told me because this dog was wearing a handkerchief that said Eagles that they egged his house. Not cool to egg his house, but if you want to line up middle schools and throw kickballs at him, I'm cool with. Because that's just Kevin Petula, not his family. Make that make sense. I'm not getting into the Eagles right now. We do winners first on this show. And Ben Johnson stole what was supposed to be a peaceful Friday, Black Friday, maybe a little bit of shopping, maybe a little bit of something else. He stole it from us. He's basically Philadelphia's version of the Grinch this year. I mean, the Bears lit them up. Swift, who? Philly kid. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget St. Joe's Prep, I believe, had combined with Monangai 281 yards on the ground. That's the most rushing yards the Eagles have given up at the link. And it was just insane. Showing that this run scheme for Ben Johnson really is the run scheme that's just driving America right now. It has boosted them to the number one seed in the NFC, which a lot of people, including myself, would have not guessed given how this season started off. But look, they control games. They controlled the ball for 39 minutes, just beating on this Eagles defense. The Eagles defense can only do so much. Wore them down. And look, they had a pick on the Bears defense. They did some takeaways. They did some things to improve. Let's go into the Eagles, right? Oh, before we do, though, they did cause a tush-push fumble. Personally, I thought it was pretty impressive. I mean, look, does it make sense? Should they have called forward progress like they do on every other play? Sure. If you want to be a ref, like if you want to like call the game like it's supposed to be called, sure, it should have been forward progress. But who am I? I'm not a ref. But if you want to go by the book and call it how it is, it was forward progress. I didn't say it, though. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Who cares? 8 people watch this at most. And if you are one of those 8 people, take a moment to like and subscribe. I'm going to tell right now there's a lot of things going on in my head. So why don't you just like and subscribe? I don't know where that ask was going, but let's talk about the loser. The Eagles, they're sad. They got dominated on every single phase of the ball, and 281 rushing yards on your defense is sad, but they can only do so much, like I mentioned. The Bears dominated them all game long. You want my impression of Petula in a game meeting? Okay, people, new week. Let's forget what happened the last week. We're going to start off with a inside zone with Saquon Barkley. And then for the second play, what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and just not be good. Break. And that's been the Eagles' offensive plans. Again, probably nothing on Petula. Bad situation. He walked into one. Like, he walked in a fantastic situation, but the expectations are just so high. But they should be doing better. This game was over with the tush push. I already went in depth about the tush push, but this game was over the second you thought, oh, hey, guess what? You have some kryptonite, which is we can just steal it from Jalen Hurts' hand. Jalen Hurts probably has strong hands. I can tell you this. My girlfriend probably wants me to have the hands of Jalen Hurts. Also, just the overall physique and the fact that I would be an NFL quarterback. But the story here, folks, is the fact that I'm not Jalen Hurts. I'm not. I also didn't have any fumbles on Black Friday. Look, who's better? I don't know. I've never played a game in the NFL. I truly don't know. The Bears, the rest of the season, I mean, with the Rams loss, which we'll get into in a second, they're top of the NFC. They have a very, very strong path to get to the playoffs where their record is based. However, their remaining schedule is very tough. The big test, now if you ask every Bears fan, I'm not friends with any, but I do know one, Big Cat. I don't know him personally. One day I will. And he just doesn't believe until the Packers win. Until you guys beat the Packers, he does not believe in the Bears. Why should I? That's called trauma. That's called trauma right there. Why not have them win the division? This Packers team, something's off with them. They keep losing to bad teams like they lost to the Browns. Panthers, I don't know if they're bad. The Panthers are a little frisky, but it's not great. I don't know. Why not have them win the division? The Lions are doing terrible. Who am I to say? Who am I to say? The Eagles, though, rest of the season, their defense is fine. Like, again, they can only do so much. If nothing changes and Petula stays the coordinator, nothing's going to work with this offense. They're going to completely fall apart. I do believe they'll make the playoffs, but if you can't make any adjustments, you're not going to get better. It's truly that simple. So, people, there you go. There's the Eagles. Rams 28, Panthers 31. So, as we mentioned before, look, the Rams, they got dethroned. Panthers, they're a team at home. And it's just wow, wow, wow. You do not want to play them at home. They do come to play. Look, they won on all three phases of the ball. They were clutch. They pounded the rock down their throat. And their defense did turn Matthew Stafford and this Rams team over 3 times, which is impressive. And we've seen the Rams fall apart. We saw, when did we see? When Mac Jones absolutely tore their defense apart with 1,000,000,001 slant routes. That was a loss. The Eagles, they didn't kick the field goal. They would have won. They missed it. Sometimes this team is playing perfect. The lack of execution just bottlenecks and just destroys everything else. Are they still probably my favorite to win the Super Bowl? Yeah. I don't know any team that's better than them right now. There's no clear standout. Oh my God, this team's incredible this year. And the ones that are, they're newer, right? You have the Broncos, you have the Patriots. Like, they're like, ooh, the new kids on the block. But this Rams team's veteran presence. But honestly, Bryce Young, I think he has the, I don't know, whatever it is. He has 11 career-winning drives, which is insane when you compare him to everyone else. This Rams team, though, it was an unrealistic game. Stafford did turn the ball over a ton. He even had a strip sack when the game mattered a lot. And it felt like I was searching Murphy's Law again, kind of like when I watched Interstellar for the first time and I went down a rabbit hole of about 18 different YouTube videos to actually explain to me what it is. And the Murphy's Law, right? Everything that could go wrong will go wrong, like my lighting going out, right? It could go out, it can go on, right? And it's just an issue, people. When things get wrong like that, it's hard in a game like football where the momentum can shift at a moment, right? The momentum shifted in this moment right here. In this moment in particular, the momentum shifted for this Panthers team to make it like it might not just be like they're probably going to cover the spread. They might win outright, right into the Rams' face. I've never pet a Ram before. But look, Bryce Young, 4th down. Oh, what's it going to do? Maybe a little run play, maybe a little dump it down. No, Jalen Cooker, 43-yard touchdown, sealed the deal. You know what it was? It's kind of like the same vibe of a gold miner back, you know how the 49ers are named after, and it's the gold rush. Nothing's just working right, but there's something that he needs to change. So this gold miner, he goes, he gets brand new pants, he squats down. Sure, he found gold before, and he continues to find gold in his life. But guess what? This time, he felt a firm, kind of just a hug. And that's how Levi jeans were made. So basically, Jalen Cooker 43-yard touchdown is the origin story of Levi jeans. Guaranteed, people. Now, look, the outlook for the Panthers moving forward, their schedule is brutal. The Buccaneers' schedule is easy. Bucs are probably going to win the division. Do I like them to win the division? Sure. Do I prefer the Panthers to win the division? Yeah, I don't know. Roll the dice, mix it up. You can meme that as well. I don't know, people. I'm just here. Actually, I do know. Screw it. Buccaneers are winning the division. However, B-Dog, sipping there with his little coffee. He's 2 feet up. Shout out B-Dog. Would prefer that the Panthers win. I don't see it, though. I don't see it. But Bryce Young developing, I'd be very happy with the future if I was a Carolina Panthers fan. The Rams still on the odds-on favorite to win it all. You have Matthew Stafford. You have a coach who's done it before. You have a young defense. You're developing talent. If they get a great quarterback in the draft because they're going to have a high pick, look, this team could be around. Texans 20, Colts 16. Now, this was a Colts game to lose, and they did. And Daniel Jones, we really have to start looking more into this injury because he just wasn't as good. If I had a fractured/broken fibula, I wouldn't have that great of a game either. I probably wouldn't even get out of bed. But look, this just goes to show you strong defense, couple chunk plays is truly what matters. Kind of like when you have a man who is singing on a harmonica and you need him to have a beard. Because I don't want any plain lippy singing in a harmonica. I need the mustache right there. I don't know if that adds to the music. Definitely does. It definitely does. Look, the Texans, they were in control this whole game. Big story here is that CJ Stroud played incredible. I did have him in my DFS lineups. Yes, all my DFS lineups cash. Yes, that was very lucky. No, I did not profit overall on the weekend because the Eagles stink and I went way too heavy in on them. And that's just another lesson, people. Don't do more than one unit per bet. Make it make sense. Now, CJ Stroud, he threw for 276 yards. Didn't score any touchdowns, but had a lot of chunk plays. Defense was humming. They held the Colts, which was the top offense in the NFL, to 16. Sure, Daniel Jones again injured, but still impressive when Jonathan Taylor is also on the other side of the ball. I just feel like this offense isn't functional right now. Something's missing. I don't know exactly what it is. Probably having a healthy quarterback. Now, on offense for the Colts, though, you missed an extra point, which definitely screws them over. It's always one of those weird math things where at the end, it's like, oh, we only have to go for a field goal, where instead we have to go for a touchdown. It doesn't matter. You're just kind of playing down the whole time. Now, Josh Downs, let's just try to find some positive here, people. I'm not all doom and gloom. He had a pretty wide open 4th and 9 catch. Oh, wait, I am gloom. He didn't convert it. And that's a common theme we've been seeing. It's just, oh, we have an electric play. This Colts team might be doing something, and nothing happens. It just feels interesting to me. This Colts team feels off. And the moment that really sealed the deal was when it was 13-13. Low scoring game. Felt like at this point in the game, it was the next person to score a touchdown wins. And Nico Collins scored a touchdown. Oh, but Affaka, you said CJ Stroud didn't have any passing touchdowns. Yes, he didn't. He had a rushing touchdown. It felt weird. He went to the left, and I don't know. Look, I'm saying I don't know a lot. It's because I'm in a funk with the gambling. But we're going to fight back. We're going to do better. And if I hit this light one more time, I'm going to lose my absolute mind. Something is off with this Colts team. We'll get to it in a second. Because we have to talk about the Texans. Look, their outlook, they won 5 straight games. They have a real test against Kansas City. Can they play on the road? Can they win on the road against a desperate Patrick Mahomes? And now, every single time this Patrick Mahomes team plays, go, oh, they can't lose this one. They'll surely win. And guess what? One loser after another. And now, look, here's the thing. Colts did lose this game. Daniel Jones' injury is going to be an issue moving forward. However, this Colts team is off. I said it about 7 times. Here's the 8th time and why. This Colts team's off because ever since they played that Falcons team where they went abroad and they went overtime, they also had to play a Chiefs overtime. They're playing so much football, and they're just not putting teams away like they were in the beginning of the year. Maybe it was a lot of shock. Maybe it was, hey, they caught up to their scheme, but it's not looking pretty for the Colts. It's not looking pretty at all. They probably won't win the division at this point. I don't even know if they're going to make playoffs. It's just a guess. It's just a guess, people. It's hypothetical. Ever Google that word? I can't. I don't know how to spell it. What I do know how to spell is I'll bet the Steelers here because this is a classic Tomlin spot, and then I'll lose because the Steelers suck now. Steelers 7, Bills 26. This game was a tale of 2 halves. And the first half just was ugly, so Steelers were winning it 7-3. And then from there, the Bills just blew this thing wide open in the second half. Yeah. It's equivalent to when you watch a movie like Ted, which this is not my take. I actually think Ted's funny from start to finish. Some people said, oh, Ted starts off funny, and then towards the end of it, it gets a little too serious. That's not my take. I don't like that. That's kind of how this game felt. 0 to okay. So, look, the Bills, they had Joey Bosa come out second half. As I mentioned, they're down 7-3. Strip sack on Rodgers, dumps him into the floor, and then Rodgers has to go out. They recover it. The Bills score a touchdown. It's a momentum shift, 10-7. This game was done since then. I mean, it was dead. Like all my bets lately, they have been horrible, which means now's the best time to like and subscribe. Don't forget to do that if you've made it this far. To join me on my voyage to gambling. It's just fun. It's just good, clean fun. And look, buy at the dip. Buy at the dip. Follow at the dip. Look, other than that, they just ran the ball the most at that stadium with 249 yards. It was just a rush fest. It was basically like the Alabama recruitment girls, rush talk, but instead it was the running backs. Steelers, they had a total of 166 yards on offense, which was the lowest of their season, and things were kind of bad. And they brought in Mason Rudolph, and you thought to yourself, oh, he might be a great switch up. No, Rodgers is better than him. That's why Rodgers is starting. Rodgers came back in, but nothing happened. Look, outlook for this Bills team is you have Josh Allen. You're in the playoffs right now. Chiefs might not be in the playoffs right now. You might win the whole thing. Get your defense together. I don't see why it can't happen. I don't see. Steelers, they stink. They may go to the playoffs. They may not go to the playoffs. Who cares? They suck. Look, people, those are my quick game recaps. Stayed up to watch the Giants game. Jackson Dart needs to stop taking all those hits. It's rough for them. But let's go to the storyline of the actual quarterback who came back this week, which really mattered. Thanksgiving game. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow won this game for this Bengals team. Sure, did he make that much of an impressive splash? Not really. 261 yards, 52% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, pass rating of 83.7. It's not great. It's not the best thing that I've seen since sliced bread, but they're 4-8. Who's above them in the division? Well, you got the Browns down there. They don't matter. Who's above them? You have the Steelers sitting at 6-6. You have the Ravens sitting at 6-6. They could make a run here. Now, their next game is against the Bills, so if they lose that, they're basically done. But they could make a run here. They ended up winning the game against the Ravens 32-14, and right now they are plus 900 to win the conference, which is definitely a long shot, but who knows? There might be a good middle opportunity there. So, guys, keep your heads out for the Bengals. They're going to be against the Bills in a really high-scoring game next week. Personally, I'm all here for it. I think Joe Burrow can make a run. You never want to play a Bengals team late, but who knows? They might be able to. Let's go ahead into our power rankings for NFL Week 14. We've had a lot of switch-ups here. Truthfully, I was keeping the Kansas City Chiefs and the Eagles. I had to pause there. And the Eagles up for way too long. So let's go ahead. I'll move over here and see if I'll do a picture-in-picture. Or I might just be too lazy and never do this. Starting off with the Juggernauts tier. Again, these are the Juggernauts. These are going to be your Super Bowl contenders. You have the Rams stick in the same place. Patriots. I coughed here, but it's the Patriots because it's now their time. So congrats to the Patriots. I finally respect you. Bills 3. They get the rush game going. Broncos 4. They keep winning. Lions 5. Okay, then you have Seahawks surrounded out. Then you have the Any Given Sunday tier. This Any Given Sunday tier can beat the Juggernauts, especially with maybe I'm just an old-timer, but the Juggernauts we have up there, they can get beat easily. Ravens, Chiefs, Bears. Bears might climb up to the Juggernauts soon if they can beat the Packers. Packers next, then the Eagles. Should the Eagles be higher? Maybe, but the play calling, nothing's changing. No, that's where they belong. Then you have the Not Rotten Milk tier. This is when you take the milk out, you sniff it, you go, oh yeah, no, that's not rotten, that's fine, let's keep playing. Texans moved up a lot. Buccaneers, Jaguars, Niners, Panthers. Welcome to the Panthers. Panthers welcomes off. This is the smells off milk tier. It's when you take the milk, you go, oh, that smells a little bit off, and then you're about to pour it, and you go, you know what? No, I should not. Take that, throw it out. Bengals, Dallas, Colts, they are down low now. Chargers, and truthfully, this is the cutoff. I have one more, but the Vikings team, I have one more. Let's just add them in case McCarthy can do something. Who knows? His defense is good. The coaching's good, so let's keep them a ring above. But look, Chargers to Rams, these are the top teams in the NFL. Shows how great of NFL this season this is. Not personally for me because I've not been good gambling, but it feels like you have the cream of the crop up top, and we have the people who just stink down below. People who stink. This is a we have food at home tier. This is the, oh, you know what? Maybe there might be hope for something, and no, we have food at home. Don't do that. Okay. Dolphins, Falcons, Steelers, Browns, Commanders. Browns, their defense is so good. Look, these teams all have the talent to be in that upper echelon tiers, but they just aren't. Then if you're a fan of this team, I'm sorry. I'm making a switch. I'm making a live switch right now. I want to switch the Raiders with the Cardinals on the screen. Then I have the Giants, Jets, Saints, Tennessee Titans. I'll probably keep it in the same order. You know what? Let's keep it in the same order. Why not? Let Geno Smith do something. The Cardinals always lose close games. The coaching's not great. Whatever. Guys, that's the Affaka Show. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe. I'm coming over a cold, so if you heard me be weird today, that's why. Other than that, just tell everyone about this. I don't know. Steal someone's phone, subscribe, give it back to them, so I can just bless their timelines. It's kind of like what Josh Pate says on his show, but truthfully, I don't care what you have to do to get someone to subscribe. You can befriend them for 5 years, tell them all your deepest, darkest secrets, go on a treasure hunt together. Get really in there. Maybe you go to Boston, do something old colonial national treasure stuff. Haven't seen that as an adult. Doesn't matter. X marks the spot. Where do you end up? Oh, how'd I get here? You then take all the money. You say, hey, bud, if you want to split this 50-50, go follow Affaka on YouTube. And guess what? They go ahead, they follow Affaka on YouTube. Let's say it's a 500K treasure you guys just found, 250 each. Hopefully you don't have to pay taxes because it's a stolen treasure. And I got another subscriber. And the wheel keeps continuing, and that's a lovely wheel of life.